What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is my full review of the Shuriken 180 by Holy Bro. And this is it right here, of course. And I must say that this is a very nice copter. I really like a lot about this thing. There's a whole lot to like about it. It has a very neat and nice, clean build. It has an internal buzzer in there. And it has a readout here of the FPV frequency that you're on, the 5.8 frequency, and you can switch it. There's a little button in there. You have to get something to press that little button in there to change it to different bands and all. Just a really nice copter. The camera isn't bad either, but I found that in the bright sunlight, this thing tends to go dark a little. Might not be the best camera, but this thing is not bad at all. Really nice resolution and clarity and stuff, and the FPV signal that's given from the transmitter. It's just a really nice setup there. It comes with an extra set of spare props. These props are 4-inch tri-blade props. They just give you all tri-blades though, and they're all black. I'm guessing this is just meant to be a FPV copter, so they're probably thinking that the tri-blades are going to suit you better, and which I think it does. As far as FPV, it's a little smoother, a little more floaty though, but than the two-bladed props, but it's pretty much the standard with FPV. I'm understanding the flight time is affected by it. I think it's a little more flight time with the two-bladed props, but it's a little more noisy. But I think these things are meant to be noisy. I like when these race quads are noisy, just like the way that it sounds. This is a really tough quad as well. I did crash this once before onto the concrete, and check it, you can barely even tell. You can't even see any traces of it. I did break two props though, and so I'm on my last few. What happened, I was flying this thing really fast at night. It has no LEDs. That's another thing. One of the cons that I have with it, no LEDs, but you can easily install some LEDs, I guess, your own. But no LEDs out of box. But I was flying this thing late night in the dark, and I had flipped it to acro mode. I was flying line of sight, by the way. And so I flipped it to acro mode, and I forgot I flipped it to acro mode because I was contemplating flipping it to acro mode, but wasn't sure that I was going to do any acro flight, and I had my hand on the switch, and I guess I just hit it into acro mode without knowing. And so I'm still racing it around, flying it and all, and thinking that I'm still in auto leveling. And when I try to kick it up to go fast and then slow down, I was moving pretty fast, and I tried to slow down and caused it to flip, and it hit the ground and flipped around and flew over the fence somewhere. But I recovered it, as you can see, and there are hardly any traces at all that this thing crashed, and it hit the concrete pretty hard. So I must say that this is a very durable copter. The carbon fiber is real, and it's really tough. This plastic must be really tough too, because I hit here. You can see, let me show you here. I hit here really hard, broke the props on this side, and you can just see a little scuff there, and that's it. And so this thing is pretty tough, and just a really awesome copter. But I must say that also they don't give you a battery with this. They don't include a battery. Now I've tried it with 3S and 4S, different sizes, and I found that 4S makes this copter the best for FPV. It really doesn't have a lot of punch with 3S. So 3S, it will work with 3S for light FPV maneuvers and all, but I'm not sure that it'll be able to recover from some power loops, fast flying and then doing power loops and flying towards the ground and all, and then flipping it over. I don't think 3S is enough for that type of stuff, even though I haven't gotten a chance to fly this thing in the field on acro, full-on fast FPV, but I have had a chance to fly this line of sight acro with a 4S battery, and it just has, just judging from that and how much punch out and power it has, I'm pretty sure that with 4S you would have no problem recovering from anything falling out of the sky, diving towards the ground or anything. 4S should be able to power you right out of that with this copter. But I think the lack of power with 3S is due to the length of the props. They're only 4-inch props, and that's all that would fit on here. As you can see, it just misses there, just misses the camera there. So you can't get anything larger than 4-inch props on here. So you're gonna want to go with 4S. And so it's just, I can't say enough about how well this thing looks. It looks really, how well it's built. It looks really nice. I like the way it looks. I installed Betaflight on it, and usually I have a hard time with these quads, the binding flies, getting them set up and all, but I guess I'm getting better. And also not dealing with the CC3D boards. Those, I'm trying to switch those from OpenPilot over to CleanFlight and then Betaflight and all of that. It just was too much for me. I had another copter, which this reminds me of, because it had a very nice clean build like this, and it had that problem. I had the CC3D board in there, flight controller, and trying to switch it over to CleanFlight, and then the motors are numbered wrong and they're spinning the wrong direction and all of that stuff. But anyhow, this thing was not too hard to set up right out of box. I was able to get the CleanFlight set up on it, the modes and all, the arming and the acro mode and air mode and all of that stuff, getting everything set up. I really had a problem with flashing it to Betaflight without jumping the bootloader pins, but they do give you a little sheet here which shows you the two connections that you have to bridge in order to jump the bootloader pins and then install Betaflight. So I did that right away. That was like the first thing I did. I don't even think I flew it with CleanFlight on it, because in my experience, Betaflight just seems a little smoother on the stock PIDs and all. You know, I'm not much of a tuner yet, but I know that when you first set it up, the stock settings on Betaflight seems to be much smoother than CleanFlight. So I did that right away. Had not much of a problem with doing that, jumping the bootloader pins and installing Betaflight. And this thing was flying smooth from the start. So really happy with it. I think I just need to increase the roll rate, how fast it flips over, in order to actually do some nice flipping and maneuvers, power loops and stuff like that. You probably can do with it the way it is off stock PIDs on Betaflight, but you can't really flip over fast with it. Not fast as I would like anyhow. But oh, it did come with a FreeSky receiver in it, and I had to remove that and put DSM-2 on it, or DSM-X, a receiver, and I didn't have a nice place to put it. I just ended up putting it there. But the way they have it set up, you can get this with DSM installed already, and if you do it that way, they have it set up really nice, whereas there's a button in there where you can push the button. They have it hooked up to the button there where you can press the button and just get it to go into bind mode. So that's a really nice thing about this quad too. It has a little spot there where you can bind the receiver, press it in, and put the receiver in binding mode to bind to your transmitter. And so being as though I removed the FreeSky receiver that was in there, I just have to bind it with the button on my receiver there. But no big deal, something small. So it comes with a lot of accessories, extras and all. There's an extra battery strap in there. The battery strap is not bad at all, pretty decent battery strap, and it has this little rubber grip underneath to hold the battery so the battery doesn't shift. So that's a nice touch with it. And it comes with like I said, it comes with an extra battery strap. It comes with some little tools in here. I don't know what everything is. This little thing here, I don't know what that is, but it does come with all of the cords and stuff that you need to all the cords that you need to hook up your receiver. Depending on what type of receiver you have, it seems like they have you covered with all the different cords that you might and cables you might need. There's some extra screws in here. It looks like a prop removal tool is in there as well. So pretty awesome. You know that they give you extras there. And it comes with an instructions manual. And nice detailed English, and it's in color. Explains everything. It comes with some extra stickers that you can stick on there or whatever if you like that. And best of all, it comes with a case. So really nice deal here. They give you a case and all, and this is a pretty nice case. Hard on the outside but soft in the inside, and it fits everything. You can put the unscrew the FPV antenna and put the clover leaf there. If you don't have to take the props off the copter, you just sit it down in there, and I guess you can keep the battery on, or you can keep the battery in this little zip compartment here. You can keep all your spare props and all in there, and it zips closed, and it's a pretty decent little case. Has a little handle there, so all in all, I think it's a really nice deal for a really nice copter. But you're gonna have to run it on 4S in my opinion. And I did test it with a 1300 milliamp hour 4S tattoo battery, but I'm thinking that you probably should just use 1000 milliamp hour 4S battery on here. Will probably work better because a 1300 milliamp hour barely fits on here, and it seems a little heavy for something this small with 4-inch props. So but it handles that pretty well. So I'm guessing if you get a 1000 milliamp hour 4S battery for this thing, it's going to jump out the building with punch outs. I think it'll be crazy. So but the flight time won't be that long, because the flight times with the 1300 milliamp hour battery is about a little over 3 minutes, like 3.5 minutes. So you'll probably get like less than 3 minutes, or 3 minutes tops, if you get a 1000 milliamp hour battery. And so that's it. Let's check out some light FPV that I did with this thing.